Welcome! In this video, we are going to learn about the basic of DSLR camera. This guide will help you to take some beautiful image even when you are just starting. We will discover the different kind of cameras, different kind of lenses, and the settings that we need to use for different kind of shots. Let's get started. There's one type of camera that everyone is familiar with. The terms of digital single lens reflex camera, short for DSLR. Some of the big companies currently known for the cameras are Canon, Nikon, Sony, and many more. Here in our little studio, we will be using DSLR cameras by Canon, particularly 700D. Noted that even though we are using this particular camera, all of the settings should be similar on all across DSLR cameras. Now, let's talk about lenses. There are 4 types of lenses. The first lens that most of the photographer will use is most likely to be a standard lens. Some people call it kit lens. You may heard of it because these lenses are the one that comes with your camera when you purchase your camera for the first time. Kit lenses are good for starter because it has a quite wide capture area as well as an okay zoom area. It also has an average f-stop which is good for beginners. We'll talk about this later. The next lens that we will discuss is fixed lens, or known as prime lens. This is the lens that most people would likely to buy after they purchase their starter kit. One of the most popular fixed lens is the 50mm f1.8 by Canon. People call it the Nifty 50. This is not only a cheap lens, but it also has a very big aperture, which is good for taking portraits where you can get that bokeh effect. We'll get to this later. After learning the basic and taking some portraiture, we will most likely looking forward for our next lens, which will be a wide lens. These lenses are made for landscape photography, or some people use it for events. Lastly, there is telelens or telezoom lens. As the name says, this is the lens that is used for sport photography or astronomy, looking at the stars, the moon, and even candid photos if you are into it. It can zoom so far so it can track movement pretty easily. People usually use this for sports like soccer, football, basketball, even boxing, or wild animal photography because it also has a large space to walk around. After learning all of the lenses, let's move on to the main part of the video and get you started. ISO. This settings is vary from 100 to over 1000, even over 10,000, depends on the camera. Different camera has different kind of settings, but the best settings is the lowest number. Lowest number gives you darker image, and bigger number gives you brighter image. These are the examples. This image was taken in ISO 100 and this image was taken in ISO 6400. Remember that the bigger number will give you more grain to the image. That is why most photographers will use small number. What I mean by grain is this, compared to this. Next is shutter speed. This is very important when you want to take a photo in the dark places or night scenery. The faster the shutter speed, the faster the hole in the lens opens and closes. The faster it opens and closes, the faster the light comes in, which means the faster the shutter speed, the darker the image. But longer shutter speed can create beautiful image too. Here are examples of a rolling duct tape hitting a Jack Sparrow. You see this image was taken with fast shutter speed. You can see the Jack Sparrow feet is floating and the duct tape is freezes. But it's actually a moving object and it happened just right under a second. Compared to this one, when it takes to slow shutter speed, you can see how duct tape rolls and blurs and the Jack Sparrow moves and it blurs. Another perfect example is a waterfall. This is taken with fast shutter speed, so you can see the water freezes, and this one is taken with slow shutter speed. You can see how smooth the water is and it takes more beautiful image. Next is aperture. Don't get confused. Smaller aperture means bigger f-stop, which means less blur. Bigger aperture means smaller f-stop, which means more blur. Here are the examples. You see the object behind Jack Sparrow's are blurred. This was taken f1.8, which gives a very big aperture length and it has blur. It's good for bokeh. Now this one has no blur at all. It was taken in f22. You see how the big number makes no blur and the small number gives more blur. Now, to make you understand more, this is the example of good bokeh with small f, which is large aperture. Now this one was taken with small aperture, which means bigger f number and less bokeh or blur at the back. Another thing you need to learn is white balance. This is not too hard, this is just the part where you decide the story of your picture. It can go from warm to cold. And what I mean is yellow image and blue image. With this skill, you can turn your warm feeling image into a cold feeling. Lastly, I want to mention that after all these settings you have learned, you need to consider one thing: exposure. When your image is too bright, we call it overexposed. When you take a photo too dark, we call it underexposed. But when you take a perfect balance between them, it's just called correct expose. Well then, happy shooting!